Hello everyone. I'm happy to be discussing conservation recommendations to the community of Lauderdale County and the surrounding area of Florence, Alabama. I am here to discuss conservation efforts to help the habitat of the Alabama cavefish, an endemic and critically endangered species of fish living in Key Cave inside the Key Cave Wildlife Refuge. I plan on taking into consideration social, economic, and political factors when working on conserving the land around the refuge. I would like to propose three management plans for conservation and restoration of the habitat and surrounding area of Key Cave, with joint efforts from the community, landowners, and stakeholders. I would like to go into the current status of the species. The most current status of the Alabama cavefish was listed in 2012 by the IUCN Red List as critically endangered. There are 100 or less of the species in the wild currently, which that was only updated in 2012. So the status needs to be updated again since now it's almost 2024. Um, so you may be wondering today why care about a tiny fish in a cave in Alabama. The Alabama cavefish must have fresh groundwater and steady patterns of groundwater levels to reproduce and survive. This is important to the ecosystem of Key Cave because it measures the health of the groundwater that goes and flows in and out of the cave. I like to go into the management plans for the Alabama cavefish and the habitat in the area. There are a few measures that have been taken to protect and conserve and replenish the Alabama cavefish. The most ideal and complete measures to be taken in the present for the species would have an ESA reevaluation on Alabama cavefish, such as how many are left, more about genetics and reproduction, and what the most updated status is. Sorry. More research needs to be done on the species so that knowledge of reproduction and other important factors may be evaluated. The Lacey Act, which protects the fish from being bought and sold, needs to be updated. Farming in the area needs to be closely monitored or outlawed due to the contamination of the groundwater. The, T- the TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority, needs and can do much more than just put up a simple fence to the two entrances to the cave. Have barbed wire, electric fencing, signs up, educational and informational, yet also steering away from the critical habitat for people to look at the signs and know that it's there, but to stay away because it is a critical habitat. Have plants and weeds outgrow the entrances. This way it will discourage any human disturbance and, more importantly, filter the groundwater more to the entrance to the cave. You can use these plants to filter the groundwater that goes through to the entrance to the cave. It's just a natural filter for the water that would help bring out the toxins from the chemicals used in farming. Also, paving the roads around the refuge would be more accessible to driving. The paths to walking are not ideal for small children in strollers or those who need wheelchairs. I think asking landowners to stop using agrochemicals in the area on crops they cultivate and to find alternate measures to protect the crops would be ideal. To decontaminate the water would benefit the crops, humans, and the Alabama cavefish alike. Furthermore, the most realistic recommendations I can make to save the threatened Alabama cavefish would be to implement a new protection act like the Lacey Act, which takes reasonable measures to protect and repopulate the species in the area, as well as have it expand its range to other areas. Expanding the range of the Alabama cavefish may fix the issue of becoming extinct entirely since it's endemic to the area. Having more information to the public about the rarity and the importance of protecting the species, as well as on the internet, getting the information out in all ways possible. Having a wildlife ranger on duty, at least during the daylight hours at the guard shack and on patrol to help visitors with information and safety. Google Maps needs to be updated for the area. Right now, it basically just sends you to the middle of nowhere. There's no entrance and no exit to the refuge at this point. The least action to be taken of the Alabama cavefish would to not go extinct. It would be to protect the entrances and surrounding areas better. Having the weeds and simple plants grow around the two entrances will make it unappealing to humans, and it will filtrate the groundwater that passes through into the cave. In conclusion, I'd like to say please continue any conservation efforts made to Key Cave Wildlife Refuge, and consider future efforts of restoring and managing this beautiful area. To come together and take action on conservation management plan would benefit the communities socially and economically by making it known and accessible to the public. Thank you very much for your time today.